there's never been more vacancies, never been more people leaving and changing jobs.
With the amount of roles that are open at the moment,
yeah,
there is a lot of good people out there, and they are getting picked up straight away.
I just think that the employment market is going to be so strong.
Oh, I agree.
Hi, and welcome to I guess a little piece of content. I'm going to call it MC and the Colonel, but we're going to have just a bit of a conversation with Grant Mitchell, who runs our manufacturing group here in Victoria. My name's Matt Christensen. I'm really just interested, Grant, in your opinion on what you think's happening out in the marketplace at the moment. We're working our way through this global pandemic, and we've seen some really interesting things happen in the employment market. That space where you're working in that manufacturing environment. What are you seeing on the ground every day?
Look, I think the biggest factor at the moment is the fact that we're not getting as many people coming into the country. The biggest saving grace over the last couple of years has been, the international travellers that come through that are being able to really secure those roles.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest factor at the moment.
Yeah.
We're not getting that influx of people come through that can help us with those type of roles.
It's a pool regeneration, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And do you see that happening at all levels, or is it causing issues at all levels, or is it in a certain part of the marketplace?
Across the board, depending on, especially in the skilled roles that traditionally we've had a lot of success with people coming overseas to help with these roles. It's really putting a strain on that piece at the moment. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm expecting that what we're looking at. Then a constant pulling up the levels of candidates as new migrants or people coming in and want to get established in the country. They're happy to work on some of those roles, but people that are in those roles being pulled through to different ones, creating vacancies in other places.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing at the moment. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, interesting. And then we're talking a lot about this Great Resignation and hearing this spoken about in marketplaces and in other podcasts and all these types of things. What's your take on the Great Resignation?
Look, I've been reading a fair bit of it and what's occurred over in the States and what's happening in the UK at the moment. Look, I think it's relevant, and I think it's something we'll need to pay more attention to. Yeah, I think it's a big topic at the moment.
There's never been more vacancies, never been more people leaving and changing jobs. I know a lot of people talk about being tired and maybe a bit burnt out in their roles, and the one thing that I think will be really prevalent over the next year, and I'm interested to understand what you think will happen, but I just think that the employment market is going to be so strong.
Oh, I agree.
And there's going to be opportunities everywhere for people, and I think just having that critical mass of vacancy, and like you talked about before, perhaps not the pool of candidates to do those types of things, that it might create the Great Resignation on its own, without it being about individuals and people walking out on their roles. It might just be that perhaps there's just so much work and so much opportunity out there that people will change because people like us are having those conversations and trying to introduce them into new opportunities. But it's going to be interesting times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. Everyone's burnt out. We've been working really hard for the last 12 months. You show in a couple of lockdowns here and there, and that really starts draining on people.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Getting back in front of your family, spending some time with them, having a couple of weeks over the Christmas period and actually enjoying yourself, I think we'll find that a lot of people will come back refreshed, ready to go. So
interesting. So what advice would you have then for our clients, employers, anyone who's watching this that's thinking about taking on talent?
Yeah, look, I think it's a case where we need to probably think a bit outside the box. Historically we would be looking at someone who's got A, B, C, D or E on the resume. Hospitality's been down for so long, there's really some good candidates and really good applicants and people that work in that space. So start looking at different avenues to really attract people. They're really a good calibre of candidates out there that you just, this is the time where you can afford to do it. It's with that many people, with that many roles out there at the moment, take a punt on someone.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Yeah. Anyway.
And I agree with you, and I think there's also another element of it saying, well, if employing people is your number one priority, we've got to make it your number one priority. I think it's really important. Don't delay your process. If you need to transition from an applicant to an interviewee to an offer. Make those transition steps as fast as you can, because you don't want to sit and look at someone across the table at an interview and say you're perfect for the job, and then find out that 2 days later they're gone because you didn't move quick enough, because there's enough opportunity around for those people. So,
absolutely. Again, with the amount of roles that are open at the moment, there is a lot of good people out there, and they are getting picked up straight away. If you've got a gut feel about them, 9 times out of 10 it's the right one. So obviously do the right things that you need to do, but move quick. Move very quick.
That's right. So I appreciate your time.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
The handshake, is that what we do? Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll see some more of this type of content from us in the future.